Honestly, I don't think there's too many changes as far as the picks and bans are concerned as we get into it for game number 2. If I'm Randozos, like I said, it was more broad strategy than, hey, this pick didn't work out. I think you can talk about the itemization choices against Mirage on the Nemesis, but if Nemesis doesn't get shut down that hard, that early, a Winged Blade's not going to keep her out of the game.
Randozos just seem to never be in the right place at the right time.
That's the key.
And that's, I mean, we've seen this game style from Eager before. I can't remember who it was against in the spring split. I almost want to say it was Enemy, where they just had this very dominating, very calculated game plan that they executed almost flawlessly, where everything just went their way. Yeah. They were always in the right spot, and the other team was just, you know, lost in their own jungle.
We see these teams, if Soar is the team that functions just based off of instinct and pure gameplay, right? And Enemy's the team that works off of a playbook and has players a little bit less. Eager's the one right in the middle, where they have some game plans. They have a couple of plays that we'll see executed, and at the end of the day, they'll always fall back on, hey, we got Zapman and Divios. Just hit your buttons, buddy. And I think it creates this really, one, it makes a fun game to watch because you get to see both like technical and tactical skill come out of these guys. And two, what winds up happening with Randozos, they know how to respond, both big picture, and then Zapman's just gonna kind of do Zapman things to your hunter.
Yeah, and I mean Zapman's, and Aror roams a lot on the side of Eager as well. I think it's important to note that that first blood kill onto Whalrus, Aror was there, and he's the support. He's not normally supposed to be in that situation. He's supposed to still be laning. And Zapman's able to just take these 1v1s because the opposing supports have to match the positioning that Aror is on the map. Because Zapman, if he's 1 versus 2, he's just going to play safe, right? And that means Aror's and Eager are going to have the numbers advantage if they want to take fights elsewhere.
And that's very intentional. You see that happen with Paradigm as well. Zapman and Funball are the two guys that are going to be able to either fight 1v2 if they need to, or take the one-on-one fights to the guys that are going to ask for it. So Trickstank and Hero and Aror, they're allowed to rotate the map. And like I said, 3-level differential on Chronos versus the Hou Yi. That was crafted by Eager.
Into picks and bans, Randozos, they've already responded. They're going to be banning away the Ratatosker here. Nemesis still open, important to notice, something that DJ does like to play. And they've already drafted the Guan, so this is an option if Eager really want to run that strategy. Eager stuck to the same bans, taking away moswal's Vulcan and the Fafnir.
Yeah, the Guan, again, you want to talk about ambiguity. Guan on Team Eager goes 3 different locations, either support, jungle,
salty
all there in the
run back. No.
Well, spicy run back featuring Kuang.
Maybe. We'll see what the final couple of picks for everyone is. And yeah, Kuang picked up here. I've heard a lot of talk about how people really like Sylvanas in Kuang, simply because, so it's a very risky thing to do, but you have a lot of counter options to Kuang, right? Your ultimate, which is going to put a dot on the Kuang, pop him out of invisibility. You can also bait, right? You get bonus protections and healing from your wisps. Also another delayed damage dot that's going to pop him out of stealth. And then you'll run meditation with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, Sylvanas, I love Sylvanas against Kuang. Does Aror love Sylvanas at all is the question I'm going to ask. Aror definitely likes to lean on the more offensive characters.
Yeah, but he's probably like screaming, I got to pull the whole time. Nemesis is going to be the jungle for Eager, though. I don't really think Sylvanas will be in this because that means Guan Yu's got to go solo, and I don't know if Divios wants to pigeonhole himself into that early. But you know, Nemesis here, we're going to see this on the other side. Mirage, we didn't see any aggressive ult out of, right? We only saw one defensive one onto Aror in the mid lane. And so I'm wondering how DJ is going to be able to play this against the Kuang.
We'll see how that one works out. I'm very curious about this Vamana ban. I mean, Vamana is just a run-of-the-mill solo lane. The Sun Wukong ban makes sense. Divios has a gnarly Monkey King, but Vamana just seems like a god that doesn't ever get banned because he's so...
Well, the thing is, they've picked up Kuang, and so what they did is they actually just banned out the 2 solo laners that have the CC immune ultimates, which Kuang doesn't do too well against. It's,
okay.
Big Baby's going to be able to come up and heal, also CC immune that whole duration, as well as Sun Wukong. The second he presses for, right, there's no startup time, just immediately going to start channeling his cloud. He's not going to be able to be executed.
Very, very good point. Completely. Yeah, just over my head with the Vamana. Missed that one. But so that'll make sense for Randozos, leaving Team Eager's solo laner with the selection of the Sobek. Now, I actually believe that's going to be the solo Sobek and the support Guan Yu.
It's a little bit worrying though. You know, running a Guardian into any
Raven.
warrior is typically not favorable, right? The Guardian's going to be on their back foot, but now it's also against the Ravana, who has a lot of pressure, which means we could see Randozos set up to invade if it is the Sobek solo.
Guan solo.
I made you switch your mind, and then
Yes, the second game in a row, I double whatever. Sobek going into the solo lane. Divios rocking one of the new summer skins, and Whalrus chasing down 5 members.
they want to
of
bait
Eager.
DJ into his dash. That's
Yeah.
all they're trying to do, right? It's very unlikely they set up a kill here. We could have seen Whalrus belly flop, but it was a risk because Divios could have went pluck there.
A lot of times what the teams will do is they'll try to get vision on the enemy squad to see what kind of relics the enemy picked up, and everybody was wanting to see what Nemesis picked up. Is it the Wrath? Are they looking for an invade? djpernicus plays it smart. When he goes out initially to go ahead and ward, he doesn't even select the relic yet. He selects it on back, so information gained by Randozos, virtually zero.
It's also hard for, DJ was trying to ward in that early game as well, and Randozos just wanted to make it difficult, make sure he couldn't get a ton of early aggressive warding. Still goes down low with those right-hand side mid-harpies, and I think this is DJ just wanting vision of what are Kuang and Robin doing, which it seems like they're going to be playing it safe this game.
Yeah, exactly. Kuang, a little bit of a different character to invade on than I think we saw last time around. So standard starts coming out from our teams this time around. Like I said, Randozos, I think, sort of shot themselves in the foot. And there were a lot of different reasons for game number 1 to go the way of Team Eager. But I think it's very easy, especially in the moment, without looking back at the VOD. Don't forget, I mean, you have to just go into game number 2. Randozos, I think, look at that and go, hey, the invade didn't work. Let's just play it normal.
Eager's team composition is interesting, right? Because they have 2 single-target characters in the Nemesis and the Zapman on this Chronos, right? Who are going to be focused on, these are they find a target and they go, this is the person I'm trying to kill right now. And then they have the Sobek, which is going to be used for kind of disruption in team fights.
Right.
Probably going to be looking for initiations as well with Plucks. But after that, probably we're going to see Divios switch to more of a peel situation, as Aror also just a lot of disruption, a lot of healing, and it seems like Eager are just trying to put DJ and Zapman in a position to carry.
I mean, DJ will also wind up being a lot of that disruption. Slows abound, obviously the ultimate coming out from the Nemesis. I think DJ and Divios will both build into this sort of hybrid warrior frontline-esque type deal. We know that that's sort of DJ's sort of claim to fame, is building rather tanky in the jungle, and Divios expect a Void Stone or so on this little Sobek.
Well, Divios is going to be pressured here for the early game, and this is going to be expected. I mean, Sobek his laning phase is not very strong. He can use both abilities, but it takes a while for him to have the damage to full clear a wave with that. And sometimes he almost never gets the damage because of minion health scaling if he goes into, 2 defensive options.
We'll see how it works out, though. This is a summer Sobek after all. We've seen a lot of Sobek.
Oh my god.
A lot of Sobek.
Sobek's really good.
I mean, he's incredible. I mean, that's the key. On Sickening Strike, it's a heal that is anti-heal.
Yep.
That's very silly.
Which is very small to talk about, but I mean, it could add up with Whalrus going into the Death's Toll and the, just his 3 being able to heal as well, and so that's going to be reduced if Divios hits him with the Sickle Strike.
And we'll see this pluck. Again, the amount of damage that it gets onto the enemy is very little. It's more about disruption, even for minute 1. But you got to watch into the jungle. You see the Kuang?
Yeah, and Divios doesn't have his ult yet. He needs 1 more minion. It is CC immune, which is why they've put the Sobek in the solo lane. But he still needs these last couple minions. And if he hits 5 off here, it's going to be much harder for this gank to go well. And there it is, the 5. Probably immediately ult from Divios.
Yeah, Robin
actually
gets
the
tossed
kill.
into the tower, finds the tail whip, and first blood goes the way of Divios.
He's in range.
Gets the 1v2.
Oh, what? How did that not hit? How did that, what?
Just barely out of it.
That was so close to hitting.
Just barely.
But Divios there, I was so focused on him pressing 4 and escaping the gank that I didn't notice that he perfectly outplayed Whalrus, not only plucking into the tower, but keeping him locked down with the tail whip and then finding the last hit as well for the first blood.
It's a fine art dissuading you, or it's a fine art tricking your opponent into not believing there's a gank coming. Whalrus, he goes a little bit too far. He plays up so far to the Divios where Divios doesn't expect a gank, but Whalrus gets himself killed.
That should never happen.
Exactly. So a little bit too far right there. Invade coming out from the guys on Eager. Speed buff going the way of Nobody.
It got stolen, I'm pretty sure. But obviously, DJ can't pick it up. He actually did enough damage, but there's that time frame from when the damage connects onto the buff, and then the buff actually drops down to the ground, and then you can pick it up. DJ was already escaping, and now Mirage in a lot of trouble as well here as DJ finds him with his ultimate. Supernova connects onto TheBest, but it was really just about the buff steal.
Yeah, flashy play coming out of Mirage to avoid the damage coming out from everybody else, but moswal really showing up there, dropping the ultimate to provide the distance.
So both teams stole each other's speed buff, but neither of them could pick it up. So we've got a speed buffless game. I think this might be the first time we've ever seen this.
Can't go fast.
I think this is actually the first time we've ever seen both teams counter the other speed, but not being in a situation where they could have picked it up.
Do you have any idea how angry these two junglers
They both
are
hate each other.
now,
They're both like, probably whispered to each other like, I can't believe you stole my speed and didn't pick it up.
I mean, Mirage he watched his speed buff die and then just marched right up to Eager's buff. There wasn't a conversation. It was just, guys, I'm taking their buff now. That was an ego play.
Mirage here going to be backing though. Level 5 hasn't been able to farm up as much as djpernicus, and he's actually down a lot.
Well,
400 gold, and neither of them were a part of that first blood is very surprising.
Yeah, you can see the failed gank coming out from Mirage, rather, on the right side. That didn't give him anything, obviously. He watched his friend die to the first blood. He loses out the gold gain from the speed buff as well on his own side. So Mirage had a couple of opportunities that just didn't go his way.
And the biggest problem for Randozos here is that first blood, right? To this matchup, you expect Whalrus to win the lane, right? Which he was in the early game, but you are also supposed to get that lead and then make plays off it, right? Invade the speed buff, invade the blue buff. And the issue is with Whalrus dying, now Mirage doesn't have those windows of openings, right? He's going to have to try and make plays elsewhere across the map or just try and gank Divios again.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of options available. When it's an Kuang, when it's a different jungler, you're sort of limited to which guys you can actually gank. And Kuang can yank pretty much everybody. Chronos gonna get in some trouble, and here's Aror with the counter initiation. Ghost just avoiding the stun, also avoiding the Janus ult, but here comes everyone else.
Ghost.
That's a dead hunter. Good rotation from Eager, 4 players strong.
And that was very clean, right? Good job on Randozos trying to get the kill onto Zapman. He avoids it. And then immediately, once they notice Aror come in, they pop the sprint. They're just not able to get enough distance. Really smart and quick rotation from Aror, as well as TheBest, right? That was a full-on call, a 4-man rotation into the dual lane in under 5 seconds. That's very strong for Eager.
That play happens if there is zero hesitation. If one player thinks for half a second, a quarter of a second, do I follow this call? That doesn't happen. Eager just come on through like a well-oiled machine, and they're able to make that one happen. Create a little bit of separation, and Eager invade onto the red buff because of the kill over there on the left-hand side.
And this is just a repeat of game 1, right, where Eager are finding these small advantages and abusing them. Zapman, baits himself. I don't know if he was baiting himself, but escapes a gank and then is able to allow his team to rotate in. Divios finding a solo 1 versus 2 first blood should never happen. And now they're going to be able to pressure into the right side jungle.
And the numbers advantage again, 4 on 3. Here's the 4th player for Randozos, however, evening it out as the jungler. Nobody really wanted to hit their buttons there. Wubbn finally starts something, gets the knockup on DJ. Counter ult coming out from the Nemesis onto Mirage, and the damage coming out from Eager spread out just a little bit. Players all low, nobody falling to 0. DJ has to find an exit, but Mirage searching for the same one. Ultimate onto DJ, and it's gonna be immune. Nemesis is fine, barely gets away. Mirage uses the ult, and it does not help out.
Just perfectly timed purification coming up from djpernicus, and he had no idea that Kuang was in the jungle. And those are the scare, right? If you know Kuang's coming, it's very easy to press purification fast enough. But just to him to have that reaction time on a surprise, you're oh no, purifies. I mean, that's definitely what you need. And also that Guan you coming in big. We saw multiple heals come out from Aror there, keeping everyone sustained and alive.
Goes to even just try to come into lane, just getting harassed a little bit by the Chronos out of Zapman. And yeah, I mean, this is what we sort of got conditioned to see out of Eager halfway through the split last time around, was just this squad. It took a while, like we said, for them to ramp up, but once they got everything going, the biggest thing for me to take away out of Eager was the teamwork, everything working on all cylinders, and that's what we're seeing here. I mean, DJ gets out of there, out of his own individual play like we were talking about, but that team fight could be a bloodbath, and it's avoided because of good team play.
Well, also, Randozos, they had a good idea, right? Let's take this fight in the jungle. Our target's going to be DJ, but they went in one at a time. They didn't, four-man pile onto DJ after the Bacchus knockup, which is what they should have done. Instead, it was first Wubbn goes in, right, does everything. DJ's able to juke around. He has his shield as well, slow anyone coming onto him. After that, Mirage goes aggressive on him. He backs off. After that, we see Whalrus come over the top with his ultimate, but they didn't all go on DJ at the same time. It was just one at a time, and it allowed not only DJ to run around and kind of outplay each individually, but also, I mentioned, the conviction heals from Aror.
And that's kind of the result of Eager's, how Eager fanned out during that situation. They're able to fan out and then create different body block situations as well. Left side, Gold Fury being thought about, talked about, discussed amongst, but not pulled.
That was weird, right?
That was very weird.
Because it's one thing if Eager's pushed up aggressively on the side of Randozos trying to set up for a kill or bait, but they were just kind of chilling on their own side. I think that was hey, are you do we want to do this?
Just a meeting.
Just looking at each other hey, what's... So guys, we're in the fourth quarter here. Are we gonna want to start running these Gold Furies, or are we gonna hold that out for 2017?
The old Eager huddle, we just happen to be near the gold. We'll go for it if we feel like it.
I've seen this before. Zapman just has Ghost under tower 2 games in a row. Once again, fully stacked Dumorb and Shoes of the Magi online. Stolen red buff, Boar's about to spawn, and they could even set up for a gank here, right? They have the Janus ult to get everyone through this wall, and I think this is going to be a gank here in a second, although they're taking a while to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this left side jungle, at least, whether it's a gank or
underneath?
Not, yeah, you can see the loop.
Oh,
DJ's going to wait
poor
for Zap.
Ghost. Everyone pay F in chat. Pay respects to Ghost here, because he's about to become a Ghost.
DJ turns it around.
Aw.
Doesn't want to commit.
And that's because his speed buff is being invaded. That's why. He's having none of that. But look at this. Eager are split up right now, and Randozos going to abuse this, going straight onto Aror.
Very good call coming out from the Clowns. First kill for Randozos as Mirage takes out Aror. Mirage and a couple of players going to surround Divios as well. Divios, though, very healthy, and Mirage is gone. The best with the ultimate.
I mean... Randozos do exactly what they need to do there. DJ and Eager took way too long setting up that gank. They try and go for the invade on speed, and they immediately have the pick onto Aror as well, who is just caught by himself, and then just staying a little bit too long. Mirage wanting to make another highlight play, but unfortunately just hit in the face by Janus ult.
Yeah, I mean, that one, it's not even a Janus ult from, way downtown. It was relatively close for a big Janus ult, but it came from behind a wall. So hard to really judge and juke.
Also, I mean, Divios on this Sobek. I mean, put him into that low health range there. Using his pluck pretty efficiently and just baits Mirage. Mirage has one option once he's plucked, and that's go down mid lane. Best knows it, and I'm sure Divios called it as well. And now Eager, it looked like they might start to falter here. They're still only up 2K though, which means they haven't really extended their gold lead for 5 minutes. Very good for Randozos, who have this late game out Kuang, late game Hou-Yi, and late game Soul.
Yeah, there hasn't been a play made by Eager, and honestly, that's just as much Eager as it is Randozos. Eager just they haven't really done much with their positioning here.
We saw a lot of invades, surprisingly, that, Eager haven't been able to expand their gold lead since the first Gold Fury. Yeah, the first attempt, excuse me.
Right, when I say they haven't really done anything with this lead, they've taken the red buff pretty much every single spawn the entire game. But they haven't really made that heavy gank into a tier 1 tower push just yet. I guess we both have to remind ourselves that it's 12 minutes into this one, despite Eager being very powerful. I think last game was so short that it feels that we should be a little bit different. But yeah, 12 minutes in, makes a little bit more sense.
And this is good, right? The experience difference is still, not into Randozos' favor, but it's not that far apart, right? Zapman has a lead again. Best actually even, and DJ's got his 1-level lead, but I mean, this is still a pretty good situation for Randozos to be in. The question is, when Eager hit their power spikes, when they get their second relics, which now most people have outside of Aror, are they going to force this Gold Fury? And I think they are right now. They're setting up for a pick, but Randozos have this very heavily warded.
Which is totally fine for Randozos. This is a 2,000 gold lead. This is a lead that you can absolutely fight into. In fact, it would be a poor choice if Randozos did not take the fight. So if Eager does choose to go ahead and force the Gold Fury, Randozos, if they're able to come out on top of the team fight, I mean, that's a good play.
The main issue is that Randozos have 4 single target damage characters, right? Whalrus is only going to be able to realistically stick on one person. Eager are going to take this opportunity, though, to start with the Gold Fury. Wubbn's going to smell it out, but it's already under 40%.
Yeah, everybody's going to show up. Gold Fury will be leashed.
Surprisingly.
Ooh, yeah, Eager probably could have taken that. And Randozzo's a little bit too late to the party. Won't be able to start the fight. Eager now giving chase. Can't decide if they want to go to the mid lane or otherwise. But moswal keeps him out, keeps him honest, and Eager will stay back here in the jungle, taking out these left harpies.
Remember here, Janus has his ultimate, so despite Divios being by himself, it's just a bait. Eager want Randozos to full commit to Divios because he's going to be able to survive long enough, get his ult off, and then just the rest of the team around the corner. Wubbn jumps in, though, and this is a call for Aror to go aggressive.
Yeah, Aror's going to dash on in, get hit by the Intoxicate out of Wubbn.
Supernova's big.
Here comes Eager coming on the ultimate out of Aror, looking for a target to stun. It's going to be the Robin, but he jumps to the right-hand side. Divios surrounded, Sun's coming down. moswal taken out by djpernicus. Ghost going to find safety on the south side, and Divios zoning the whole time with his ult, keeps Whalrus out of the fight. Wubbn can't find the stun, but Zapman can, and Best can put a pin on the donkey.
He's got the rewind as well. Mirage finally able to answer back, but his solo laner's in a lot of trouble. Zapman finds the kill, and here comes Ghost as well. Surprisingly enough, Mirage comes down in the middle of the entire Eager team. He's able to make it to safety, but 4 members dead. Eager have a free, uncontested Gold Fury, and Randozos. I mean, that was a great fight for them. They just took a little bit too long to decide that they wanted to go back in. It was once again, after Eager was pushing forward as all 5, they were actually low health and had burned all of their cooldowns. Randozos are still running with all 5 members fully healed up, and then they just kind of wait around. They're slowly coming back and forth, trying to decide what they want to do. Mirage runs off to the side by himself, and then Eager, they just pile in and 5v1 these players.
You know, I go back to what I said before. They were down 2,000 gold. That's a good fight for Randozos to take if they win the team fight. Hesitation is what lost the team fight. They couldn't decide, A, when they wanted to go in, like you said, and then when they did, the damage was spread out. It was split DPS without finding that one key target. Randozos wind up on the bottom of the fight.
Also there, I'm pretty sure Randozos had not bought their second relics yet, so we didn't have the Blink on Mirage. We didn't have the Sanctuary on moswal. Whalrus, I think, had the Meditation. I think we saw that activated, and obviously Ghost burned both his relics, but having those relic power spikes are also smart timings for Eager to take, and they abused it.
I think that this is that team fight specifically is something that Randozos go back to the drawing board, and they watch that. You got to watch that team fight multiple times back, and you learn from that, because there were very specific mistakes made by Randozos that if they do their due diligence next time around, it doesn't wind up that way, because they're better players individually. I think that team fight really reflected.
This team is just a team that doesn't know how to play from behind more than anything, right? The second they're behind, all they want to do is run away in every fight. They never want to force something. Wubbn engaged there. He disengaged successfully right after, but like it's just like the team as a whole is never on the same page when they're in a situation like this. And Ghost, now's time to pay F.
Yeah, and we saw this. Oh, yeah, there it is. Pay up.
F in chat, boys.
Down. Oh, I thought you meant pay me.
No. I did say pay F, but I meant
F to pay.
I meant F to pay respects. Don't pay F anything.
That's why I said pay up. Pay up. Whalrus and Divios going at it again here. Level differential between the two solo laners, but Whalrus has been able to keep up a little bit until pretty much that last team fight where he finds a big
Listen,
gap.
man, Whalrus got killed for First Blood against a Sobek, plucked like the most basic of all Sobek plays, and he was the one trying to call for the gank with Mirage. He was so focused on trying to kill Divios, he didn't recognize he was in trouble himself.
Divios is going to come and join the party. Whalrus, rather, will join the party. Aror gets a stun onto nobody, and the tier 2 tower almost dead, hanging on by a thread. DJ again wrapping around from the back, but is he too far away? Divios is a little far away, but he'll certainly make it back sooner rather than later.
TheBest
hit
another
gets
ult.
the kill.
Oh, he had another ult onto Wubbn here. Mirage still hanging around. Soul does fall. Whalrus in trouble too. Plucked back by Divios, and he's just getting chain CC'd like crazy. Aurora's a little bit low, so he's got to be careful, but DJ was still hanging around the backside. He's taken out Wubbn. The ult onto Mirage Mirage as well. He doesn't know where he is in the invisibility, but he's so slow. Does manage to get out just barely, but same can't be said for the other 4 members.
DJ hung out by the Phoenix in case any stragglers from Randozos were pushed ahead. He wanted to make basically, I love this play from Eager. DJ made the wraparound from the bottom, but he was too far away, so Divios teleports in, says that he's got the wraparound, and DJ's gonna play lurker or catcher, defense, whatever you want to call it. Anybody that tries to run away, DJ is going to catch that
This
play.
is perfect, too, because Eager, not only did they get a Phoenix at only 18 minutes, it's the left side Phoenix, which means Fire Minion's going to be pressing in, and now Randozos have to deal with this. They have to put someone dedicated over there, which opens up the Fire Giant for Eager to potentially look at, either bait or even commit to.
The 18-minute Phoenix is one of the earliest Phoenixes we've really seen here in the SPL. The earliest Phoenix ever, actually, was earlier this year, Spring Split.
12 minutes, right?
Enemy over Soar in 14. So 18,
I think we've seen some 12-minute ones.
12-minute
It's not often. Maybe. I think it was Panthera, right? I could be completely wrong, though. But it's still like 12 to 14. It's still the same thing, right? It's still very early in the game, not expected. And now with those Fire Minions on the left-hand side, Randozos going to have to deal with them. Oh, no, excuse me. No, Randozos are doing FG.
They're going to start it. They're going to see where Eager's at on the map. And Eager's pretty much right here. So Mirage going to get in some trouble.
They're baiting themselves.
Divios missed, which is big, but Best won't. The Suns are going to come right on down to a good spot, but the chase from Eager too strong. Wubbn in trouble. Over the top comes Whalrus. Not enough. And Wubbn still alive for the moment. Safety from moswal. Well done by Randozos to keep their support alive. And then Zapman and Divios finally say no.
And Randozos right now, everyone's trying to protect each other. The main issue is that they're just delaying the inevitable. They're all splitting up there. 2 more kills. And Randozos do not respect Best at all. They do not respect his ultimate. They try too hard to commit onto that kill there. It was a great Suns coming out from Ghost, which made it hard for the rest of Eagle to funnel in through the through space and time portals, but it doesn't matter. The meditations, the heals from the Guan Yu, it's just too much to deal with.
Eager winning this one in spades. It's 20, just underneath. 20 minutes on the clock, and Eager find themselves up 10,000 gold, 7 times the amount of kills of Randozos, 14 to be precise. And the tier 2 tower going to be killed as well, putting another, or tier 1 rather, putting 500 gold in the pocket, but tier 2 not far behind.
And Nemesis is just going to be split pushing this mid tier 1. This means that Randozos either need to full commit or give up all their towers, and they're going to play it safe. Fire Giant in hand for Eager. And like both these games have just been, they've been clinics, right? There's just this game plan. Eager, we're not seeing them make any risky plays. Everything is very safe and very calculated. They're not diving, they're just grouping up, taking 1 kill, 1 buff at a time.
And this one's even more raw for me on the side of Eager. Game 1, I think you can point to Randozos and Invade and a couple of other mistakes. This is just Eager dominance. Suns are going to come down in a defensive way for the guys on Randozos, and then I'll push Eager off for the moment. But Divios comes right on in, tail whip, and the ultimate going to bring Mirage down very low. Zapman boxing whoever wants to show up, changing targets. It's Wubbn, and now the Firebird going to be aggressed on as well. That's a dead Phoenix.
And once again, Wubbn jumps in. No one else on the team is even coming close to that. Phoenix is down, only 1 remaining. It's going to fall in under a second here. And Eager, they can either look to pile in or still take it safe, right? Strip the jungle, get the Gold Fury, and spend all the lead they've just gained. Instead, I think it's going to be 1 at a time here as they all pile in.
No reason not to fight here. Divios takes out Mirage. DJ dashes through Whalrus. And the Chaos Titan, well, it's healthy. The Order Titan, on the other hand, certainly not. Down it goes. And Eager, in 40-ish minutes of play, take out Randozos.
It's been a very dominating, you know, consider coming into this, everyone was very close, I would say. 1 through 7th, I think, were very, you know, very close there. They had a lot of options for games to be traded out. Envy, Allegiance, and Randozos, though, starting to slip to this bottom mark where we're seeing them not being able to compete with these other 5.
I mean, Eager, and you can look at the you know, glass half empty, glass half full. Eager certainly cementing themselves, looking like a top-tier team once again. You know, these guys, they wind up just sort of missing it last time around. I think that's certainly kind of feeling it inside of themselves. They want to make sure they don't miss Super Regionals.
In game 1, though, DJ on that Ratatosker, I mean, just perfect adaptation to what Randozos were trying to do in the early game. We saw just him setting up for that first kill, and this is my favorite, right? You could see all of Randozos distracted. He comes right down, he pops the Acorn, he pops the Flurry, and then just all of Randozos are just shredded. They're all hit by him.
That's what I mean. That's a Thor play. He was just playing Thor on a different skin. Here's DJ. This is that long wraparound that we see. He wanted to take the wraparound, Divios takes it instead. So djpernicus plays goalie, like I said. Anybody trying to really retreat, they're going to run in directly into a Nemesis. One ult, couple of slices of dices, base attack as well. Divios cleans up Ghost, but all that set up by DJ, making sure nobody can really make it past his mark.
It was some Tom Clancy stuff, man, as Allied would say. I mean, that was some Tom Clancy stuff, right?
Little
Hanging around the
bit.
back, takes the portal to the Phoenix. You could even see Mirage trying to back at his tower because he knew not only was Eager pushing forward on him, but DJ was right behind on the Phoenix, and he just kind of got caught in a bad spot. Managed to make it out either way, but Wubbn, not the same deal.
Just really, really small. Anyway, the kills have certainly been coming the way of Eager, and they look fantastic. And we want to help spread that yes, Mingley. We want to feel as happy as Mingley, and everybody does across the country as well, Louisiana included. So they've been having some trouble right now. If you roll the Independence chest from now between August 29th, hi-rez will donate $2 to the American Red Cross and certainly help those people out in need over there.
What? Still one more set to play here. LG looking very good with Mask, able to take a game against Soar the other day. And I'm excited to see if they're going to be able to break in, like I think Denial has established themselves, into those top contenders of North America.
Yeah, LG certainly surprising some and just living up to the expectations of others. LG versus ALG right after this.
So let's forget about tomorrow and live for tonight while we're free. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. The sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Hands will touch the sky. Tonight